Hello everyone. Thank you for watching this. Indigenous wisdom is critical for our planetary health and for our collective prosperity. I was very fortunate to attend a workshop of a native Colombian elder, Mama Nuiyuan is the Colombian elder. This is part of the Andean Mountains, the Sierra Nevada de Santa Maria, de Santa Marta, Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta Mountains in Colombia. The Kogi are the tribe of about 20,000 native people, indigenous people of that part of the world. And they have, for the last 1,000 years, been dealing with colonialism. People have been coming, attempting to colonize the indigenous land that they live on. They've been there for a long time. And they've slowly been exposed to money now, and they have a lot of important wisdom to share about our connection with our planet, with our connection with Source, with Spirit, with that which is all that is, from what we originate from this planet that sustains us and that nourishes us. And I was very fortunate to attend a workshop on Monday this last week and learn. Took lots of notes, and I will be sharing those notes with you. We need to become better stewards of our home. Our home is planet Earth. We need to become better stewards of our home. We have a connection with the divine nature that we're currently very disconnected from. The Indigenous Wisdom says this relationship is an older brother that is speaking to the disconnected younger brother. The younger brother can be thought of as the busy business people around the world, the tech everything people. We need to connect to nature as we also build the future. Without that connection to spirit, without taking care of our home that we live in, we are lacking the understanding of the interconnectedness of where we live and how we are. In many ways, our home is burning down. We need to step out of the ordinary life and step into this new space on a spirit-to-spirit level and reconnect in a new way with this presence of life. Wisdom is being transmitted to us all the time from nature, all the time. When birds chirp, that's wisdom being communicated to us. When we look at trees, that's wisdom being communicated to us. When we take a big, deep breath of air, that's wisdom being communicated to us. A sip of water. wisdom being communicated to us. A little bit of food, wisdom communicated to us. The shower, wisdom communicated to us. Exercise, wisdom communicated to us. It's all around us all the time. We need to tap into that spirit so we can figure out how to be harmonious with the home that we reside on, which is planet Earth. Human race falls into the same mistake over and over again. The disconnection from nature, and then playing in this immature spiritual way with technology of the gods, and then the civilization collapses. Happened many times before, and we'll be next if we don't connect back with nature. We are exterminating nature. And it may be difficult to feel when we are in a home in suburbia with green grass and trees. But we are exterminating nature in so many ways around our planet. We're not respecting the interconnectedness of the ecosystems. When we impact and mine, plunder the earth for resources, for all of the fossil fuels that we use, for all of the pollution, this is interconnected. It affects the water cycle. It affects all of the natural cyclical patterns on our planet. All of the organisms that live here, the extinction of them, the unsustainable ways that we're progressing. On Monday, for the first part, I was the only guy in attendance in a room with 20 other women, and Mama Nui Wan is a man. That was very frightening to me. And those that are watching, that are men, should realize why it's frightening. I know the women realize why it's frightening. Guys, we need to connect to spirit more. We need to connect to nature more. So many of the men are running so many of the corporations and governments around the world. We, more than anyone, need to connect to nature fast. And our origins are obfuscated. Where we come from, nature and spirit, they're obfuscated. Mass media is keeping us numb. There's so much noise. We need to find the signal. The signal comes from the process of conscious connection to nature. There's nowhere to move on to. This is our planet. We have to become better stewards of our planet. We can't keep destroying the space we live in. The government doesn't solve this. We've created this problem. And we're inventing second-order solutions to solve the problem. But the first order, most principled solutions are within us. We are the divine creatures, the divine beings that were given life on the rock, on earth. And we get to connect back to that system that gives us nourishment, our planet. Don't be manipulated. Don't be deceived. Don't be manipulated or deceived, especially by all of the noise. It's keeping us numb. Find the signal. And we can very easily see all of the advertisements that are keeping us numb. Buy this, it'll make you happy. No. We know that. We have to embody that and live it and practice it. And I went with a friend on Monday, and she had said the night before that I can just look it up on the internet. I can look up this tribe and this experience of it, understanding Indigenous wisdom on the internet. And that's when I replied, no, you can't look at the internet and have an embodied experience understanding Indigenous wisdom being communicated to you by a spiritual leader of our planet. When we do what's right, this conscious connection to nature, all of the BS will collapse. What sustains us is being manipulated by those in power. We're mesmerized by our technology devices. The real information is kept away from us so we don't panic. The lack of that conscious connection to nature. And the manipulation, the exploitation, and the deception are benefiting a select few. The collective doctor of the human race is saying we have cancer. If in America, if you want to know the truth, follow the money. Face those facts. Younger brother has to recover and deal with this reality. The reality that we need to consciously connect back to nature. Humanity needs more active, conscious people. Reality that we have is reflected in nature every day. Every day we see a civilization that has so many issues. The mental health crisis, so much trauma. It's a direct reflection of our disconnection from nature. Humans like comfort. We need to invest in maintaining comfort, our planetary health. Nature will make humans pay. Earth is buried with lost civilizations that manipulated and harnessed power until nature completely exterminated them. If we're not conscious about the power, we're going to be exterminated. People are absorbed in manic programming, in screens, in cities, ignoring the biologic reality around us. We are not different from nature. There's so few water systems on the planet that are unhijacked and unaffected by humans. Natural resources of the earth are not to be mined for money. It will take a long time to repair the water systems and the forests on the planet. We won't see it. It will only come many generations later. Our house is burning. We have to stop damaging the ecology. We have to stop building artificial worlds, these cities that we live in. This is not the ideal design of a city. A big concrete jungle is not the ideal design of a city. The nature works just like our body. When our body has an issue, our body needs to heal that ailment. Nature right now has deep issues, and we need to heal those. Otherwise, our body dies. Otherwise, nature will die. And we know that in just a decade, 2 decades, we're going to have 1 billion or more people on the planet. More people consuming Earth. We need conscious, awake people that are connected to Earth, that are connected to nature. I wrote that this is a hard simulation. This is hard. There's not that many people that are consciously connected to spirit. And they're really trying to scurry and find each other around the world and help awaken others to connect so that we can have a home that isn't burned down. Fertility is being targeted so that people don't reproduce. A mandatory suppression of reproduction in certain parts of the world. Africa's population is booming. China and India have 1.4 billion people each. China prevented 400 million births over 35 years. Humans are treating nature like a fridge. Open it, take whatever we want, and close the door. And when it's empty, we buy more. When it's empty, we buy more. We buy more. We buy more. And then what? You can think of the materials that we use, that we just bury back into the earth, as slowly the plundering of resources from the earth, as slowly bringing the health bar of the earth down. And then the garbage that we do landfills with, that is in the Pacific Ocean too, the health bar of the earth decreasing. Humans transmit energy, love, stewardship to nature, and it heals. We need nature to be as pristine as it can be. Follow the voice of nature. Fix our mistakes before nature comes after us in the blink of an eye. And then the civilization collapses. Prevent that. Most of us are in this playground, Earth, a big amusement park, with our distractions, being deceived, manipulated, not consciously connected to our planet. And most civilizations have collapsed because they've invaded and intruded the sacred space of nature. We need to go to sacred places and analyze what nature is saying. Prevent this collapse locally and collectively. And specifically here in California, in Silicon Valley, we can be better stewards. Come here to Silicon Valley and we're not consciously going to the Pacific Ocean, which is right next to us. We're not consciously connecting to the sacred space of this area. We're just stacked in the boxes, typing on keyboards unconsciously. we can do better. And LA too. LA too. The media scene there, the ability to disseminate really powerful memes around conscious connection to spirit and nature that is not being done right now. We have the power in Silicon Valley and Los Angeles to do a lot. California needs to awaken. We need to allow nature to tune us. To tune us. That's what we feel when we breathe and are grateful for the breath. When we drink the water, grateful for the water. When we're around the trees and the oceans on our planet, on the grass laying and they're absorbing the sunlight, we're letting nature tune us. We need to harmonize ourselves with the spirit and nature of the space that we live in. When you go on a walk, get out of your head. Humans have a pristine part of ourselves that belongs with nature. This is like our grandmother, like our mother. Our heart belongs with the source of our life. Our heart belongs with the source that gives us life. Zero knowing and agenda and expectations, just purity in nature. Let nature tune you. Recover this attunement. Connect with the ocean, the sun, the trees pristinely with spirit without an agenda. We are so connected to the celestial bodies as well. We have so much to still discover about the location of the celestial bodies when we are birthed into the world. When we are first conceived in the woman, and then when we are birthed into the world. We have so little knowledge of what's happening still. We have a lot to still learn about that. And when we're born into the world, in the exact hometown, the sacred location of our birthplace, how connected are we to that sacred location of our birthplace? We have to connect to the nature of our birthplace and to the nature of this journey. Nature is a spirit, a life force. Humans are supposed to be wise, peak collaborators, but we are distorted. We need to help champion self and collective realization with nature. Nature needs to read us as benign beings, not as cancerous beings that are plundering the planet, that are ambivalent, unknowing, and unresponsive to the interconnected mayhem that we are causing. We need to apologize. Mother, I love you. I'm sorry. We need to apologize for the mistakes we've made, all of us, about the lack of interconnectedness, the lack of connectedness to nature. This is like paying the taxes that we owe. Reconciling the debts that we have with nature. The feeling of emotionally melting when we connect with nature. Journaling, sharing our experiences. Just like we care about our technology, we need to share just like we care about nature. We need to care about Earth. This is an individual experience not to postpone. Then get others to experience it. We need to master the art of harmonizing with nature. This is good questions to ask people. Where were you born? Where do you get your air from? Where do you get your water from? Where do you get your food from? The answer is Earth. Earth sustains us. It nourishes us. And we're disconnected from the life that it gives us. Disconnected from the interconnectedness. The Earth is visibly sick. We need to become better stewards and work on ourselves. Tuned to nature. We develop our light, practice as a spirit, connect as a conscious spirit, reconcile with what sustains us. In so many ways, we are addicted to information. And right now, you're watching this on an information stream. We're listening to it. Finding the signal in the information streams is so important, and blocking out the noise. Go connect with spirit, connect with nature. And when we don't know ourselves, when we don't know this mother spirit, we become addicted to mechanical consumption, like zombies. Experiencing life directly has been stolen by this deceptive system. Celebration of life is the communion with the spirit of nature. And if you follow the path of society, in many ways you'll become a psychopath. Everyone can do this. Everyone can commune. Everyone can connect with nature. In the Kogi, this native indigenous tribe in Colombia, in the Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta mountains, this Andean indigenous tribe is being commoditized, the Kogis. They're now using money, buying things, disconnecting from spirit. This is happening to native people around the world, to indigenous tribes around the world. They're the last holders of the real indigenous wisdom, the connection. Watching Aluna, their documentary, is so profound, so important. Do incredible things like the ones that are spiritually connected, the greatest. The mamas identify the women that are having another mama, another child that's going to grow up into a mama, and the child grows up in the cave from 0 to 9 years old and doesn't take in any light, just is in the darkness connecting to earth for 9 years. Then they enter into the light. It's things like that that really make you think, why do they do that? And the mother's there too with the child, and so is the mama working with the child as they grow up until they're 9. Why? Why do they do that? What can be gained from 9 years of connecting to earth before going out into it? What do you think? I think a lot. I feel a lot can be understood. Way deeper than what we understand. We're moving from the triangle to the circle, from the hierarchy to the decentralized circle, from the me to the we. Everyone wins and earth is saved. Get away from being the mentalizer. This is not spiritual. This takes resources, build skyscrapers, run businesses, this type of thinking. We need to put it into action and work an experiential connection to spirit versus this mental insanity nonstop. There's no balance with spirit. Everybody knows it but isn't applying it. Those that are knowledge maniacs apply it. We need to learn spirit firsthand, challenge ourselves, and share our practice. Information manipulation and deception is creating noise and a thirst for this inclusive fitness of mom, of spirit and source, of the interconnectedness. Why are we so disconnected from these basic things? Our origins are being obfuscated. Born into these artificial cities, no stars, no farms. Money is the number one thing. The old code is staying in motion. We need to make the new code, and it starts with our conscious connection. Recovering our sacred connection to nature. Nature will tell you the truth, our origins, not the internet. Nature is a history keeper, a blockchain. Protect the land with wisdom, not with war. Rediscover sacred sites. Go on sacred pilgrimages. Visit our sacred grandmother that we've abused. Bring conscious and benign energy to earth. Have a conscious spiritual education. Treat water like it's a conscious, beautiful process. We need to have a deeper intent of connection to water, food, air, consciously connecting each moment. And we need to understand that we've been colonizing land of indigenous people. Punishment is coming. We need to repay our taxes, our delinquencies. We need to revisit the delinquencies and be honest with ourselves. Consciously connect to nature. Every moment we can consciously connect with nature, with spirit, even with the inhales and exhales. We need to re-engage with our sacred spaces, fix the water cycles, fix these issues on the planet, bring the planetary health back up. And these sacred spaces are not just a place for selfies, not just go there, take a selfie, and leave. This is a place for conscious connection, deep, spiritual, conscious connection to the sacred sites. The living original vision for the earth, love. Living original vision for the earth. The earth works 24/7 to keep us alive. We need to pay taxes to nature and be grateful for the source of life. Activate these sacred sites. Big things are transmitted to you in darkness, silence, conscious fusion with the universe. Younger brother is wanting to do this and that and this, plunder the resources, go and build things. But the mother says, don't violate the rules. The older brother, don't violate the rules. We're overwhelming nature too much. The younger brother is. We can't violate the rules of losing our connection from nature. That's why we have all of the issues with our civilization. We need to align ourselves with our spirit's full purpose. Time is ticking. What did we come here to do? Endogenous motivation, channeling through us to build a better world, to connect to nature and build a better world, versus the exogenous motivation of the materialistic possessions. Wisdom and spirit versus ego and fantasy. If you go to the ego and fantasy, expect delays. Do not prolong or postpone our connection to spirit. Get it done. How do you carry yourself through the tough parts of the journey? In many ways right now, we live in a schizophrenic hyper-reality. A worldview that is these cities and this disconnection from nature is real, but it's not. It's not real. It's a complete hyper-reality of the way that we sell our time for money in order to live in these boxes stacked on top of each other, using the technology devices and news feeds that have quantum computers trained on billions of psychometric profiles that are pointed at our faces all the time, that are sucking our souls away. The evil spirit is coming through that void. When we're not consciously connected to nature, evil spirit comes in and fills that. We're giving it a space. We're giving evil a space inside of us, inside of our world. We need to strengthen our spirit to combat the negative spirit. When you link with negative spirits, you give them room to move in. Many people are cornered or suppressed or oppressed or limited, so they try to break through by harsh means. This unearned wisdom can cause difficulties. Most people aren't wise enough to hold space or elements of power. Are you getting a crap or a craft experience? Real shamans and spiritual leaders, they don't mess around. They don't play with these sacred spaces and elements of power. Master the use and the management of technology, younger brother. Otherwise, there's a disaster looming. We drag spirits in based on our degree of connectedness to nature. What you need, spiritually speaking, is within yourself. We need to recover and handle power properly. That's a massive challenge. When we're captivated by toys and deception, turn the other way. Imagine it as a do not enter sign in your newsfeed. Do not enter. Turn around, go the other way. Don't miss your exits on your journey to your North Star, to where you find most meaning and purpose in the life. These are the greatest connections to activating our connection to all that is, the spirit. Don't make the same mistakes as previous lost, collapsed civilizations that couldn't harmonize with nature. And again, us in California and Silicon Valley and LA, we need to reconcile with nature. The ocean's next door. We can help solve these pressing challenges. So that was from Monday, from the longer workshop on Monday. And then just yesterday, Thursday, I did not attend an event that had a lot of other people that I know attending at night, to attend another event where Mama Nui Yuan was speaking at the center in San Francisco. And this was just an evening. And it was Q&A from the attendees. And I think it was actually really important for all of those that were attending the other event, for them all to have actually been listening to Mama. So the question was about accumulation of power. And Mama keeps bringing all of the answers back to spirit, back to nature, back to our disconnection, back to our need to connect to it. Mama taught about the earth's rules, mother's rules, nature's rules, and how we can't screw around with it. We're supposed to harmonize and co-create. Play within the rules, within the checks and balances of nature. And we're overindulging in the creation, having a lost sense of our own being and our own agreements with nature. We need to constantly check in with Mother, with Spirit. As daughters and sons, we have fallen from grace. We're messing with extraordinary sources of power, and previous civilizations have collapsed from doing this with immaturity. When you mess with Mother and the cosmos, you get destroyed. You need to obey the rules of nature. We need to use power to maintain balance and harmony and co-create, not go to war and manipulate. We need to generate life. Power has become a fixation for validation. Don't rule anyone. Greed has poisoned men's souls. Power seekers try disconnecting from nature. If spirit is aligned, power is good. Don't fall into the same loop of the same stupidity. We have to become aware of the burning house that is our planet. Positive power is creative, negative power is destructive. Get out of the games of control and manipulation and deception. Understand the original wisdom of the universe. Another question, how do I heal the planet? Every human needs to care and maintain the system that takes care of us. We have privileges and responsibilities. We stop the immense negative global impact. We are calling for doomsday. We need to recover the consciousness. We are responsible for the system that sustains us. Governments are busy with their own agendas. They don't care. Greedy people, corrupt people. We are responsible for the system that sustains us. Tune yourself to the positive power of Mother. The sheer amount of global chaos we have right now is causing deception, massive collective chaos. 7+ billion people don't know how to function with nature. That says everything about the issues we have in civilization. We're here to master experience in this realm. We have disconnected escapist tendencies. Our mental disorders are a reflection of our disconnection from nature. Another question, how do we connect to spirit better? There's so much deception. Tune yourself. Conscious connection to nature, who you are. And the most serious deception is spiritual. Things that hamper, block, use, or take over our spirit. Evil is in the business of captivating souls. Spirits have power that evil doesn't have. Our spirit is superior to the deception, but it's up to us. It's up to us which company we align with in spirit. Watch out. And a reminder about these transmissions that when Mom is talking to the group, it is on fire. That signal is on fire. And I'm doing my best right now to communicate from that through these notes to you that is viewing right now. Our tech is a reflection of our spiritual connection. The issues that we have with tech are a reflection of our spiritual connection. When spirit births, it craves universe's wisdom. Art and science need to be in tune with spirituality. Spirit in the blink can go anywhere in the universe. Technology is dangerous, like Europeans that came and wiped the natives. Freaks playing with toys that violate the rules of nature in this dimension. It's a recipe for disaster. Another question, what is good tech? Same as using your body. The body is a tuning piece for higher levels of consciousness. We are science, tech, and art. Spirit. We need to be careful. People will be robots completely controlled by dark powers. The natural law is functioning with spirit. We are dysfunctional with the spirit that sustains us. Animals have spirit. They have a crucial role in nature, a harmonious role with humans in nature. And if we don't know the function of creatures in the interconnectedness, it's a big problem. Lots of species now have been extincted by humans, especially in the last 100 years. And we don't understand the interconnectedness, and we're wiping them out. We will be next. Just like if we don't drink water, we die. Similarly, animals have a role and function in the ecosystems that we live in. Deception has taken too much power. And this is interesting from the tech industry angle, that in many ways Satoshi Nakamoto anonymously, as that deception took so much power with the misaligned incentives of self-dealing in our world and disconnection from nature, boom, Satoshi Nakamoto brought anonymously the technology of blockchain into our world. This spiritual update was delivered anonymously. Very interesting. Maybe this method needs to be practiced more, the deploying the spiritual updates into civilization anonymously. We're in a race to enlighten the younger brother, to have the younger brother connect with spirit. Machines come with instructions, and we've been told how to function in this dimension, this environment, but we're not applying it. It's comical, our loss of common sense. Again, what sustains us is this planet, is nature. If you discover you're not full with spirit, it means you're being deceived. Don't be deceived. The first level of deception is the disconnection from the original spiritual wisdom. That's when we have a lack of clarity, a lack of purpose. But we need this natural living life. You are spirit first. Your body is the vessel. Spirits follow a very clear purpose. And if you're not following your purpose, then you're being deceived. And for those that are wondering, well, what does someone like a mama, what do they eat and drink? Well, they nourish themselves with mother. They don't harm nature. They're pro-life. What do they drink? They drink water. They don't drink too much water. That debilitates them, or overflows them, but they don't also stay too dry either. I asked also about money as well, because we live in a civilization that requires us to sell our time for money in order to be able to pay for our rent, pay for our food, these types of things. And Mama said, as soon as you pay your taxes to nature, your rent to nature, that things come into motion. So we need to pay our taxes to nature. We have a big bill that's coming. Civilization, you can see the big bill of the 7+ billion people disconnected. You can see it coming. It's painful when we share this wisdom of nature and then doesn't resonate with certain people. But it does resonate with others. And hopefully this catalyzes you to go and consciously connect to nature on a moment-to-moment basis. When spirit has issues, we have to do work to clear it. The divine father and mother are one and the same. The father conceives and the mother delivers. One unified power, only one. When spirit is aligned, we can manifest much more energetically. We need to pay our taxes to nature to manifest money, to manifest what we need for nourishment. Bring forth spirit, act with spirit, not with the head. The mentalizer is expecting, controlling, but spiritual science and technology, the art of being here and being functional. What is a good life? Connection to nature, to what sustains us. The power of deception is creating more chaos, disconnecting us further from spirit. We can come together, correcting our behavior according to the rules of nature. Deception will do whatever it takes. Malevolent spirits trying to control the human race. We are not here to battle deception. We are here to function intelligently. Deception wants to keep you in battle. Obey the natural law. Retune our spirits with the power of the cosmos. Deception wants you to battle so you become the loser. Consciously connect to spirit and we win. We are meant to live and die, not be fearful. Function with God daily. A deep, conscious love, not to be deceived. And a counter to some of the leading arguments today of this is the best time to be alive. Well, really, we are at a catastrophic moment that we have now so many megalomaniacs and so much psychopathy and neurosis in civilization of people disconnected from source, spirit, nature, that we're playing with godlike technology, that the people of our past, the 100 billion humans of our past, were actually more connected to spirit when they spent their time in villages with trees, with animals, with plants, actually growing, gathering their food. We were more consciously connected to spirit. Be conscious first, then generate love. The last 100 years, we didn't consciously take control, so deception did. Master, achieve, fulfill the purpose of life. Don't battle deception. Recover the sense of spirit. This has been the fall from grace, the great deception. When people spontaneously recover their sense of spirit, they get targeted as weird. I got so many messages from people asking me, are you okay? Are you tripping? No, I'm not. I'm connecting deeply to nature, more and more awake to real connection to nature, to the truth of that, and sharing it with others that also see it and that are working on themselves too. Presidents don't really have power, they struggle for power. Real power is conscious spiritual connection. Bring original ancestral wisdom, recover our sense of spirit and function like it. I don't want to be president. I want to help people consciously connect to spirit. Practice connecting to spirit, to self-work. Recover the essence of spirit, the being with spirit. Shut up the sense of knowing. Be with spirit. Manifest it more. Make it more self-evident. And tap into your sacred space of birth. Massive power to fulfill the purpose of life. The beginning defines the journey and ending. Pay the taxes. Right now, moment to moment, pay the taxes. Also pay the taxes to our sacred birth space. For all those in California, Mama Nui Juan's doing workshop for the entire month of June in 2019 in Ojai in Santa Barbara. So do check that out. Nature isn't conspiring against you. It's orchestrating for you. Always bring the convo back to spirit. Always bring the convo back to spirit. Younger brother needs to wake up. Needs to connect with nature. Disobey the rules that have been laid out by younger brother and align with the divine rule. Don't make space for the evil spirits to come through. That's all. Thank you for watching, for listening. And we know what to do. It's within us all. The divine connection to nature, to what sustains us, this indigenous wisdom. We're so blessed to have people like Mama Nui Juan, like the Kogi still. In Colombia, we're so lucky to still have them. We need to cherish the indigenous wisdom on the planet. We need to actively, consciously connect to nature. Don't fall for the deceptions. Don't let people exploit you. Think critically about the civilization that we live in and how it's a direct mirror of our disconnection from nature. What would civilization look like if we were all connected to nature? You know what to do. Go and connect moment to moment with our air, our food, our water, our shower, with the trees, the plants, the animals, lay in the grass, absorb the sunlight, really feel it, feel how it sustains you. Connect with nature, and we can more easily prosper together. Thank you.